Boys, Sean O'Malley is your UFC champion, right? These are reactions to UFC 292. Just wrapped up. We're going to go to the bottom of the card. We're going to work our way up here. Starting with Kareem Silva. Dominant win. Last second of the first round. Gets the guillotine. I didn't watch the fight. I saw the highlight on YouTube. Or on Instagram, rather. Yeah, whatever. Cool. Good prospect. Moving on to the first fight I did watch. Andrea Lee kind of just stood on the outside at kicking range with a Taekwondo person, right? So, you know how that's going to go. Silva looked amazing, though. And I'd like to see her fight Lauren Murphy next. That'll be pretty cool. Move her up the rankings. Real good prospect. Up next, Petrovsky versus Mearshart. Real close fight. Petrovsky gets it. Real close in the first. But Petrovsky got a knockdown at the end of the first. Really secured that round. Petrovsky was barely winning. Kind of doing nothing with butterfly guards. Which raises the question, how good is Hamzat Chimaev? Because this guy, he ran through GM3, alright? He's just built different, okay? Moving up, Brad Katona, Cody Gibson. Brad gets it done. You know, he was going good. Katona rocked Gibson in the second. It was one apiece going into the third. You know, great fight. Katona takes it. Winnipeg native is your tough champion. It's a good time. Next up, Hubbard versus Holloway. Pretty close fight. Good transition from an armbar to a triangle for Holloway. Gets it done pretty early in the fight. Hubbard kind of swung around the wrong way. Got caught in a triangle. Rough go for him. But I have a funny feeling that all four of these men might still make their way to the UFC somehow. They all really put it out there. Put it on the line. Moving up, Rodriguez versus Tuluan. Rodriguez grappled. That was pretty sweet. He demolished him, alright. It was a little weird with the back of the head shots at the end, but the right guy won, and that's all that matters. They weren't that egregious, but it was just a little iffy. Moving up, Chris Weidman returned and lost to Brad Tavares. Conor McGregor was on Twitter or X or whatever. He was hyping up Weidman. Kind of just a boring fight. Weidman got his leg chewed up, though. Really pushed through that. That was cool. Tavares probably needs a little step up here. Give him a ranked opponent. I'm thinking Chris Curtis would be a good matchup because he needs time off because he injured himself in the middle of the camp for Anthony Hernandez. It'll be a good fight. Moving up to the main card, Chito Vera beat Munoz. One judge. I cannot even understand how someone could see that 30-27 for Vera. That's a horseshit scorecard. But it sets up Sean O'Malley versus Vera, which is a good matchup. All right, I think Munoz should have won. I had a 2-1 Munoz, but at least it gets us somewhere, you know? Moving up, Blackshear versus Batista. Blackshear won. 2 rounds to 1. Batista's kind of silly. There was a moment in the fight where they kept spinning around, but a weird scorecard here. I don't know. I think it was 30-27 for Batista. I don't know how you get that. That makes like no sense to me. Blackshear was gassing after the first, but then Batista gassed, and then it was kind of got real sloppy towards the end. Moving up, Ian Machado Gary embarrassed Neil Magny. That's not saying much because a lot of people can do that, but you know, he was yelling at him, knocking him down with leg kicks. It was a rough go for Neil Magny. You know, and Ian Gary afterwards went to Twitter and posted a video of him and Cheeto showering together. And that was pretty weird. But maybe he'll take his last name too. Call that Wonder Boy for December. Sure, go for it. I think he'll leg kick Wonder Boy at range and then try to do something crazy. That'll be a good fight, but I don't know how I see that going yet. Need to think on that. Weili Zhang, Amanda Lemos. Weili Zhang kind of just cut through her. Lemos could have won the fourth, but there was like a bunch of rounds where Zhang's grappling has improved so much under Henry Cejudo to where, anyone in the division is just getting steamrolled in the grappling. It's really incredible how much she's grown. That was like her weakest aspect. She was real athletic, real powerful, and then she had the striking and the kickboxing, and then the grappling was the last thing to develop. But now we're seeing that was actually a very good investment. We're seeing a bunch of people come up in that division as well. Manon Fiorot versus Rose Namajunas is in, I think, a month. Where is it? Maybe more than a month. What card's that on? Oh, it's on the France card. Yeah. So, actually, not even a month. That's, 2 weeks? So, if Manon Fiorot wins, I see that being next, or maybe Yan Xiaonan. All China. Maybe go to China, actually. They're breaking into the Asian market with the Singapore. That would make a lot of sense. Moving up to our main event of the evening. Sean O'Malley walked out to like a song about being a superstar. That was pretty cool. Aljo got booed, and then like halfway through the first round, they were chanting expletives at Aljo. And that, I don't know if he deserves it or not. I don't know if he deserves all the hate. There's certainly some questionable things he said and done, but first round was pretty boring. Kind of just feeling each other out. Sterling didn't shoot a takedown till like 4.5 minutes in, and then he kind of just pressured him against the cage. The moment where Sean slipped, and it looked like it could all be over early, but he kind of worked his way up to the clinch and figured himself out there. The real question is, was Sean O'Malley this good the whole time? Because, like, Sterling's no joke. Say what you will about the Yan decision and some of the matchmaking and the leap up in competition here. But, I mean, if you're leaping up in competition and you're winning, like, does it even matter, This was it was a crazy fight. And then we go into the second round. And Aljo's finally shooting takedowns, and he's not getting them against O'Malley. So then Aljo starts striking, kind of chin up, just throwing combinations forward. And akin to Aldo versus McGregor, O'Malley kind of pulls back and just throws a cross right down the middle. Sends Sterling face first to the canvas. Follows up with kind of that weird ground and pound where he does like hammer fists from like a squat, that kind of deal. And he's your new bantamweight champion. We later found out that Sean couldn't wrestle for the last 5 weeks of camp because he broke a rib or something. Tim Walsh told Joe Rogan. So that's pretty nutty. Called out Vera, said his fight was probably boring, wants him for December. I disagree. Unless Sandhagen and Marab can. I mean, Marab doesn't deserve a title shot because he forfeited his against Sterling, But quite honestly, O'Malley versus Vera sells tickets. It puts asses in seats. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking's next. A great card. I think I got like 4 of them wrong, including the main event. Not a good look, but overall positive on picks. I mean, there was a lot of favorites winning, some pretty easy fights to pick, but the bantamweight division has been thoroughly shaken up. I'm excited for the future. I can't believe it that O'Malley is our champion, bro. That's nutty. He said it from day one. He said it was his show, and he went out there and he proved that tonight. Beautiful performance. He deserves some time off after that. Again, December. That's a how many months? 4-month-ish layoff, right? So that's fair. Broken rib. Got to rehab that. Not as enthusiastic right now because I'm in shock and awe type deal, But this has been UFC 292 results. Any traction this gets is pretty cool. I got this out as quick as possible after the main event. Have a good time.